John Cena is arguably the biggest star to ever emerge from the world of professional wrestling, and has carried the WWE on his back for most of his 18-year career. Despite being a conduit for hate during most of his career,
I love this.
Cena has always been pushed as the face of the company, even when fans didn't want to accept it. Following his own mantra, Cena has never given up and has finally won over most of the WWE Universe by putting on quality matches during the past few years. Cena recently revealed on the E&C pod of awesomeness that his days in the squared circle are numbered, so now seems like the best time to finally feature him on Wrestling Origins. Cena was born in West Newbury, Massachusetts in 1977 as one of 5 brothers. Growing up, the boys loved professional wrestling, and John would often walk around the Cena household with a paper championship in his hands. After attending a few house shows at the Boston Garden, the Cena clan created a makeshift ring in their basement using old mattresses to emulate wrestling moves. Although he was second oldest, John was often the target of his brother's punishment, which was what inspired him to begin lifting weights in middle school. What started as a hobby quickly turned into an obsession for Cena, and as his muscles grew, so did his reputation as an athlete. He was quickly recruited to play high school football, and when he went to college, he was named an NCAA D3 All-American center. After graduating from Springfield College with a degree in exercise physiology, Cena attempted a career in bodybuilding as he was too small to move forward in football. By 1999, Cena had competed in a few amateur bodybuilding contests, but hadn't broken into the professional circuit. Following a second place finish at the NPC Ironman magazine contest, Cena decided he could make more money if he pursued a career in wrestling. John quickly enrolled in Ultimate Pro Wrestling's Ultimate University under the guidance of Rick Baseman. The beginning of his career was documented on an episode of MTV's True Life, which featured the young grappler's journey from signing waivers to eventually being signed to the WWE. It wasn't all glitz and glamour for Cena though, as like all unproven talent at the time, he had to start his WWE tenure in a developmental territory, going by the prototype.
You're genius like the prototype. I look in your genetic lunchbox and find a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the crust cut off.
Cena carried over the character that he developed in UPW to Ohio Valley Wrestling in 2000, winning both the OVW Tag Team Championship and the OVW Championship respectively. Although Cena did hold gold in developmental, he was completely overshadowed by his class of peers, which included Randy Orton, Batista, and of course Brock Lesnar. Despite working a few dark matches, Cena was the last of his OVW class to actually debut on the main roster. John was eventually called up and debuted on an episode of SmackDown on June 27, 2002. Wearing a pair of colorful trunks to the ring, Cena would have his first match against the very established Kurt Angle. Not only did the future WWE Champion hold his own against Angle, but he also got some microphone time prior to the match. Cena's initial character was supposed to capitalize on Vince McMahon's push for ruthless aggression, which was supposed to kick off a new era for the company. Though the gimmick worked to introduce the West Newbury native as a babyface, the WWE quickly swapped plans and turned Cena heel only 4 months into his run. According to wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer, there was an internal push to fire John Cena during the infancy of his run due to internal politics. Cena, however, caught the eye of Stephanie McMahon when she heard him freestyling in the back of the WWE tour bus. At first, Steph thought maybe Cena memorized lines before jumping on the bus, but she was quickly surprised when he began rapping about a can of tuna fish that she was holding. The WWE utilized Cena's rapping ability during backstage promos and eventually had his gimmick completely made over. Rather than a blue chipper, Cena became the Doctor of Thugonomics, rapping his own theme song and changing his attire to oversized urban clothes. His witty insults began to get over with the crowd, and Cena became one of the biggest villains on SmackDown. Just to give you an idea of how fast his star had risen, by the midway point of 2003, the now babyface John Cena had gained wins over Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and The Undertaker. Though he unsuccessfully challenged Brock Lesnar for the WWE Undisputed Championship, Cena quickly turned his attention to the United States title, a championship that he would focus on for the next 2 years. During this point in his career, Cena developed his finishing move, the FU, which was an obvious jab at Lesnar's F5. He would use the FU to defeat the Big Show at WrestleMania 20 and win his first singles championship in the WWE. Cena continued to build his star power, and by 2005 he was finally ready for his main event push. After dropping the US title to Orlando Jordan, Cena began a program with JBL for the WWE Championship. Much like his ascension to the US title, Cena would win his first heavyweight title on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania 21. Moving forward as champion, Cena was accepting all challengers and successfully defended his title against the likes of Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle. To hang with those technically savvy wrestlers, Cena adopted a new secondary finisher, a step-over drop toe hold known as the STFU. Cena seemed unbeatable to many fans and only lost his title after having the Money in the Bank contract cashed in on him by Edge. To the ire of many fans, Edge lost the title to Cena just 3 weeks later, which began to audibly divide the crowds. This was the first time in WWE history that an audience had turned on the top babyface for seemingly no reason at all. Cena received the worst treatment during ECW's One Night Stand when he took on ECW original Rob Van Dam for the WWE Championship. The crowd consisted of die-hard old-school ECW fans who hated Cena and chanted things like, "You can't wrestle," "Die Cena die," "You suck," and "F you Cena" during the match. The WWE listened and RVD picked up the victory after interference from Edge. Following a brief program with the Rated R Superstar, Cena won and lost the title a few more times, before finally being stripped of it after legitimately tearing his pectoral muscle in 2007. Though it was a severe injury, Cena rehabbed like a maniac and was able to return in just 4 months to win the 2008 Royal Rumble. And rather than wait till WrestleMania to cash in his title shot, the leader of the C Nation decided to use his shot against Randy Orton at No Way Out. Though he lost the match, Cena still headlined WrestleMania 24 with Randy Orton and Triple H in a triple threat match. After failing to regain the title again, Cena would make attempts at both the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight title, before getting injured again in September of 2008 with a neck injury. After returning, Cena would begin a long streak of winning major championships at big events, thus starting his Super Cena moniker among fans. The reason that he was given this nickname by fans is because from about 2008 until 2012, Cena only lost 4 single matches cleanly. And keep in mind that this was during a time when Cena was routinely feuding with entire factions at once, and would often win ridiculous handicap matches. Even during his business-changing feud with CM Punk in 2011, Vince McMahon had to interfere in order for Cena to lose the WWE Championship. Even with that controversy surrounding the match, it remains his only 5-star match according to the Wrestling News Observer, and is widely considered the best match of his career. Cena continued to chase the title into WrestleMania 27, taking on The Miz in the main event. John was on pace to win the match until he was rock bottomed by WrestleMania guest host The Rock, allowing The Miz to retain. The Rock's interference began a 2-year-long feud between the men, which would include some serious verbal jabs, as well as matches at WrestleMania 28 and 29. Following a loss at WrestleMania 28, Cena attempted to call out The Rock to congratulate him on his victory, but was met by a returning Brock Lesnar. And despite being overwhelmed by Lesnar for several weeks, Cena defeated the Beast at Extreme Rules in 2012. For the next 2.5 years, Cena would have forgettable feuds with the likes of Ryback, Mark Henry, Bray Wyatt, and Kane. It seemed that despite winning the title a few more times, that Cena had lost his edge. More and more fans were complaining about Cena's 5 moves of doom, and for the first time in a long time, Cena finally moved away from the main event picture. By 2015, Cena seemingly was demoted to the United States Championship after defeating Rusev for the belt at WrestleMania 21. Cena's reign as the US Champion reinvigorated him, and saw the 38-year-old putting on some of the best matches of his career. During the United States Open Challenge, Cena had at least 4-star matches with Stardust, Zack Ryder, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Neville, and Dean Ambrose. Specifically, his matches with the debuting Kevin Owens got the attention of the entire world, and for the first time in nearly a decade, fans were actually getting behind Cena. John kept the US title for nearly half a year before finally losing it to Seth Rollins. In reality, Cena needed time off to undergo shoulder surgery, an injury that kept him out of action until May of 2016. When he finally returned to the ring, Cena was confronted by WWE newcomer AJ Styles. Styles, for all intents and purposes, was the John Cena of his former company TNA, so a program between the two men was hyped as a dream match, and it sure lived up to it. Cena and Styles started a rivalry that lasted 6 months and featured Styles defeating Cena clean at 2016 SummerSlam pay-per-view. If his feud with Kevin Owens didn't convince fans, his rivalry with AJ Styles may have finally been enough to earn the respect of the entire WWE Universe, despite their boos. When Cena eventually won the title back from Styles at Royal Rumble in 2017, he tied Ric Flair for the most WWE recognized heavyweight title reigns in history with 16. Though the reign was record-breaking, it was short, and Cena would lose the title to Bray Wyatt during the Elimination Chamber just a month later. Rather than jump back into the main event picture, Cena instead began a program with The Miz. Miz, along with his wife Maurice, would take on Cena and Nikki Bella at WrestleMania 33, in a match that seemed to spark real animosity between the stars. Of course, Cena and Bella won, and they made national headlines when Cena proposed to his longtime girlfriend apron in the middle of the ring. In 2017, Cena has become more mainstream than ever before. He had starred in WWE films since first being cast in The Marine in 2007, but now is getting more actual roles in Hollywood without the WWE's help. As Cena's screen credits have grown, so have his departures from the WWE, which is why many fans began to expect hiatus from the budding star. His WrestleMania win was no exception, as Cena left the company again to film his reality show American Grit. Most recently, Cena returned for an unexpected feud with Roman Reigns. The seemingly real insults between the men created a ton of buzz in the wrestling world, and fans were eager to see the guy take on his heir apparent. Rather than have a match at one of the bigger shows, the two wrestled at No Mercy, with Reigns taking a victory over the veteran. Cena hasn't been seen on WWE programming since the loss, and we don't know where or when the WWE Champion will return. Alright guys, that was Wrestling Origins for John Cena. Sorry about the wait for this series to return, but if you like this video and you want this thing to continue, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell if you want to be notified for whenever another video like this one comes up. And no, if we forgot any big things in John Cena's career, like maybe when he switched the FU's name to the AA, let us know in those comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching.